we've talked around this subject of transferable skills a couple times now.
Yeah.
Let's get to it because I know that
Okay.
especially like there's got to be HR people out there, there's going to be managers out there who have had this task thrust upon them where
Mhm.
we need you to train our people, or we need you to start training things. And so for that audience, what kind of transferable skills are most helpful? Because I can think of a few from my own
Yeah.
experience, but you're the guest. I want to hear from you.
I want to hear from you as well because it differs depending on person and experience, honestly.
Yeah.
One of the things I talk about a lot is project management. Like when I was planning lessons and curriculum, like that was a lot of project management, but that totally transferred into instructional design and, managing the different projects. Along with that, for like the HR people and the people who are listening, like who deal in that sort of sector, like the dealing with people, like that's a skill, like it's very hard to teach that
Hmm.
because people get very impatient with other humans, and having and leading with empathy and understanding people's situations. I think educators do that best. Nurses, doctors, they have the bedside manner. Teachers have a bedside manner when it comes to their learners. So they really do can lead with that empathy and understand the situation. It's like when you're working with those difficult faculty. So, that's one of the big ones is dealing with people. And then like not being so married to something that if the process changes, you're going to have a freak attack about it. And that's something, again, like educators, like you don't know what's going to happen in your classroom from day to day and dealing with those different students. Like if there's going to be some sort of scuffle or there's going to be some sort of like situation where somebody's just having a bad day and they're just out of it and they're outspoken about that. Um, so you have to be able to assimilate to those different situations, and that's instructional design too, because priorities change so quick when it comes to that. So a lot of those transferable skills come from those people in these sectors that are dealing with humans on a
Mm.
daily basis, and their different personalities and their different attitudes or their different beliefs and things about how things are supposed to be.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with empathy. I mean, I think that like more than anything, I feel like that gets you to uh where you need to be as someone who is going to be patient and flexible, and also open to
Hmm.
any of those, like sort of nimble, like you're talking about when things hit the fan, like you can really kind of pivot and make changes and stuff. Um, I- and you want to hear from me, right? So public
Yep.
speaking, that's
Oh,
public speaking is a thing that,
that's a good one.
yeah, like that's something where,
Hello,
yeah,
podcast.
yeah. I mean, well, for some of us, you can look at a camera and be like, all right, I'm fine. I'm just looking at a camera. I'm talking to one person here. It doesn't matter that after the fact, your podcast could potentially be seen by thousands, hundreds of thousands. Who knows how many people out there shared and reshared and all that stuff, right? But if you're in the office or you're in a, or a big remote kind of Zoom call, whatever kind of environment, you could have dozens, hundreds of people, thousands of people listening to you as you try to just teach the basics of something, try to get a basic point across, and try not to lose your mind as you're focusing on all the people out there, all the eyes looking at you. Um, One of the first things that I was tasked with doing professionally that was like a kind of like a teaching instructional thing was I was an intern for it was like a research company, and they asked me to do walkthroughs of their platform over the phone with
Oh
clients.
my God.
Yeah. So this is pre a lot of this technology, and yeah, I'm dating
Right.
myself a little bit, but these would be hour-long calls with a client, and they would probably throw you on a like a speakerphone or something on the other end. So there's one problem right there where it
Right.
starts to not sound all that great. But it would basically be, all right, I'd like you to let's begin. Like if you could start here, let me kind of walk you through what's on the screen right here. I'll tell you about some of the features and so on and so forth, and take them on a tour, and I could answer questions along the way. But that was something that um, It certainly taught me the value of planning, right? But also patience and empathy, and being able to kind of develop some of those skills that when you're in the sort of the heat of the moment and they throw you a question that you hadn't anticipated, you can deal with it and it's not a big deal. You kind of learn
Right.
like there is no reason to freak out because these people could be your colleagues and you see them every day and it's no big deal. Or uh if they are an external audience, they're just trying to get the knowledge, the value that you're sort of promising here, by answering this question. And you just sort of do the best that you can.
And the other thing too is that empathy cannot be taught. It's not
Yeah.
something that is like it's something that's ingrained in you. I feel like it's something it's and I always refer back to educators because they have tons of empathy for these students in some of their situations and even their colleagues and
Hmm.
things that like it's not something empathy makes it authentic to me. And if you can relate to somebody else's life and somebody else's experiences, that makes you more human. And as instructional designers, I think it's really important that we remember why we're doing this. And it's not just to get the training out or get check the project off the list. It's because of the people who are going to be inside of these experiences and the learners. And we're all learners at some point or another in our lives. So I think that's the heart of it.